Hi everybody, welcome to a new tutorial on BeepStreet Drambo, the modular groovebox. In this video, I'd like to show you how you can use the Midi to Poly rack. So first of all, let's start from fresh. So let's remove everything. Let's click on the plus sign. Let's go to the Midi category and let's select the Midi to Poly rack. So as the name stands, it's a MIDI to multiple polyphony. So it splits practically the incoming MIDI signals into 4 different signals, and he alternates the input nodes through these different 4 signals. For the purpose of this video, let's add 4 instruments, and we're going to use 4 FM operators, and we're going to have a little bit of fun and show you how to use it. So let's click on the plus sign and let's select a MIDI to CV rack. And we need to do that because we need to convert MIDI signals coming out from MIDI to Poly into CV signals, which will go to the FM operator. So let's click and hold, and let's click copy, and let's click plus sign, paste, to have a second one, a third one, and also a fourth one. So now let's ensure the connectivity is right. So the first one will go to the first MIDI output, the second MIDI to CV to the second one, the third to the third, and the fourth to the fourth. Let's check again. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so incoming signals from your keyboard or controllers going into MIDI to Poly 2 will be split out in a sequential way, first to the first MIDI to CV, the second, the third, and the fourth. Okay, and then it will restart from the first one as new MIDI notes come through. So if, for example, you were to play a C, D, E, F, the first C will go to the first one, the E will go to the second one, the D to the second one, the E to the third one, and the F to the fourth one. And then if you were to replace the same keys again, they will restart again from the first MIDI to CV module. So now let's add 4 different FM operators. So let's go to generator and let's click on FM operator. Okay, like so. And let's ensure that that is connected to the output here from that MIDI to CV rack. So we do the same for the other 3. So we add an FM operator like so, and then we connect it like that. And a third one, another FM operator. Again, the input comes from its MIDI to CV, and for the last one as well. All right. Okay, so now we have 4 MIDI to CV, which are connected to the MIDI to Poly rack, and we have 4 FM operators, which are connected to each one of individually to each of the MIDI to CV modules. So the first note, which will come through MIDI, will go through the MIDI to CV number 1, which will then go through the FM operator, in this case number 5. The second note, which comes through the MIDI to Poly 2, will go to the second MIDI to CV, and then from then it will go to the FM operator 6, and so on and so forth. And when 4 notes have received, the fifth one will restart again to go through the first MIDI to CV module. Now, let's add a mixer. As you know, we have 4 operators and that we just added, so we need to take the output from these 4 operators and mix them together. So the first one, number 5, like so. The second one, like that. Third, FM operator 7, and the fourth. Okay, now in order to distinguish them and to hear some differences in terms of sound, let's change the feedback. So we increase this a little bit, this one a little bit more, and that one a little bit more, like that. Perhaps the first one, we just lower it as a feedback, like so. In this way, we go in the negative way. Right, okay, and now let's play on the keyboard and see what it sounds like. quite interesting because you can hear it's going to different operators because they have different feedback, which is enabled. So let's now, for example, make it a little bit more interesting. Let's take that FM amount, connect to that FM operator number 5. So and operator number 6 is modulated by operator number 5. Let's go to frequency modulation. Let's increase the modulation from operator number 5 into operator number 6. Okay, you continue like that. You can do a similar thing with for the other operators. The other thing you can do, of course, is instead of just going straight into the operator, you could actually add other MIDI racks. For example, if you want to transpose, if you want to change the notes, so you can create quite complicated textures and patterns in this way. As you can hear, it moves, all the notes are repeated in a cycle of 4 and split into different MIDI to CV and therefore FM operators. So hopefully you found this useful, and now you know how to use the MIDI to poly rack or module in your work with Drambo. And of course, if you use Drambo inside a host like AUM or Cubasis, then you can redirect also this output. Instead from a MIDI to CV, you could use a MIDI output. And like, for example, so you could bring in a MIDI output and connect this one to one of the channel instead of going into a MIDI to CV, and then specify that that channel goes to a particular MIDI channel, for instance, inside the host. And therefore you could redirect each note alternating to different instruments, which is quite cool, quite cool effect. So hope you found it useful. See you next time. Bye.